Good evening, Randomizer fans, and welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Winter Tournament 2025. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef. Joining me in the booth is Franklin. How's it going, Franklin?
Hello, everyone. I'm Franklin. Good to be with you, Lord Fizzlebeef.
Good to have you. We got Game 2, Skarcerer v Soleras, and I hope you like Thieves, because I might have rolled 2 Force Thieves.
Yeah, and those thieves have plus red mage armor, so they will be an extremely good tank at the front of the party for whatever most likely mages that our runners choose. It looks like both of them have chosen a black mage to start with. The black mage gets to start with telemagic, so no surprise there. And then for recruits, there's fighter, which has buff magic, red mage, which has clean magic, and white mage, which has plus legendary swords. So it is possible to go white-black and have the white mage swing an X-Cal.
That would be... It depends on how white magic rolls, but with the double melee force, I feel like as much as either of our runners might want a fighter, I feel like we're going to see a second mage. Whether we see red mage or white mage is going to be the interesting question, but black mage and telemagic, yeah, that seems like the thing you want to secure earliest.
Yeah, telemagic is up there as arguably the most powerful blessing. Some people like resist all a little bit better. Free ribbon is very strong, but telemagic is very useful here.
So any second now, the gate will be dropping. We'll get into Canaria, and we'll see what our first tavern has on offer. Nope, quick item shop check first. Nothing of value there. Over in white magic, nothing of value. Over in black magic, we've got zap and fast and fire. And I missed what was in the tavern, but we're headed back to it. It is a red mage. Considering our options, I might just grab the red mage and go.
Yeah, the early white magic isn't that great. Having the fast really early is really great to see because there have been a lot of seeds that have fast at a high level, and when that happens, it's very difficult to take out the higher HP themes, especially Tia and Chaos, because the scaling is rather high and vanilla scripts, especially on Chaos with the Cure 4, are very punishing. So having that fast early is a good guarantee.
So this is one of our round of 16 flags. Only a couple changes from the round of 32. We're still looking for 28 shards. Scaling has crept up another notch on the top end of the scale, an extra 10% here and there, whereas gear has crept down an extra step. You can go as low as +1 and as high as +5.
We got the canal and the herb from the king and queen on Skarcerer's side. And Soleras
looks like
is
they're going to
trying
head east.
When you're going to go east, how do you typically decide whether you visit Matoya's first or Provoca first?
It's really a question of whether or not I have cash or feel like I'm going to need cash. There's a bit of a wrinkle in this flag set given that there are trapped boxes. So if I'm not prepared for fights, then I'll probably avoid it as well. I'd rather do Matoya's in one dip if at all possible, but in multiple dips if absolutely necessary. I think in this flag set, I'm probably 50-50 on whether I go to Matoya. So Scar clears out the pirates. What have we got? A cube, not a now problem, but a helpful thing to be sure. Item shop, nothing useful. What do we have over in Magic? Black Magic, we have Lightning 2. We do have ice, and I believe we do have the improved basic spells, so that's neat.
So now the only incentive left on the continent, at least that's currently available, is the herb turn-in all the way on the other side of the big old donut. Unless there is a shop item in Elfland.
That's basically all we've got left. Shop item or herb turn-in. Shop item in Elfland would be kind of a big issue. We haven't found any good sources of gold, and the Elfland items gonna be expensive. Let's check dwarves real quick, see what we got going on. Short sword and an opal shield. Well, at least we can vendor the opal shield, but it looks like Scar doesn't even want to do that. They're headed straight south. Let's see what Elfland's got on offer. Probably an herb turn-in first. As soon as we can make it past the wolves.
If there is an expensive shop item, I think Diving Marsh isn't actually that bad in this situation, because with the shard increase for how many you need to go into Topher, it's more likely that you'll need to be hunting down shards at the end of the game anyways.
Looks like we're gonna just go for the Elfland check first. Level 3 didn't have things that great. Item shop has nothing, so we are looking for the herb turn-in. Level 4, there's our nuke
and warp.
And not even gonna check white magic. What do we got? Elf, this has gotta be canoe. Or no, it could be ship. Ship or canoe. What do we got?
Adamant. We're gonna put off.
Perfect. Yeah, there's something about the winter tournament flag set that the fetch arrives hard and fast. It's usually you get all the fetch quests sorted out before you even come close to the loot or the key.
Yeah, I think it might have something to do with the extended open.
Alright, Adamant, what do we got? Canoe! There we go. Okay. So, Volcano and Crescent now on the table.
And River to Melmond, I believe.
Oh, we do have the River to Melmond, yeah.
There aren't any incentives there right away, but we could get a fetch quest that sends us there.
Yes. Ruby or Rod would be things that would send us in that direction. It all hinges, I think, on what Crescent has. Because if Crescent is nothing, that's going to send us to Volcano. And then one of those has got to have something.
Yeah, fortunately, Melmond does not have a shop, so we don't have to worry about clearing out both Crescent Lake and Volcano just to find out that the shop item is on the other side of the continent. There will be something that gives us progression in either Crescent Lake or Volcano.
So I caught a glimpse of level 4 white magic. Level 4 life was spotted, and that is a notable thing for this party. We have 2 Force Thieves, and normally, like, you know, ain't nobody gonna worry about white magic, but we are running in this flag set the Black Knight and the White Ninja. Hooray! So what we're gonna have is both ninjas after promotion will be able to learn 1 through 4 white magic, so they're gonna have access to castable life.
Right, and life is much more important in the end game than right now. So we can actually get away with not having a white mage or a red mage. Skarcerer has already taken a fighter, I believe, in Elfland, but it might have been in Crescent, like I wasn't paying super close attention.
3 melee and a single black mage. Ugh. Downstroke, please. There we go.
That white ninja might come in clutch.
Alright, what do we got in Crescent? Ruby.
Ruby.
The exact opposite end of the walkable terrain that we are currently on. So now it's the question of, do we go to Volcano? We're not really prepared for it, and it could be a bad time. Or do we walk all the way to the other side of the walkable world to check on what this ruby is? Scar says, nah, we're going Volcano.
I think you gotta make the proximity play here because we do have armoring pretty close to the surface and we do have tele magic. So it is very easy to get out of armory, save, and then dive. And it's a rather safe play compared to how it usually would be.
No, Scar is headed north. So the problem is that we'd have to make it through box encounters to get to stuff. I saw that we've got 2 Saber +5s, but I don't know if that fighter has anything. And our magic is very suspect. I don't think Scar trusts it. So they're going to go for the Titan's turn in. That's going to get us 2 key item checks.
And maybe if it was Rod and it was a dive in Earth Cave with all the nasty vanilla touches and only 1 incentive, it would have been better to do Volcano. But here at the Ruby, which is definitely the preferable item out of Ruby and Rod, because that opens up 2 easy incentive locations.
Well, we're here in Matoya. We got ourselves a dragon armor, which will be good later. We take a box fight. It's a whiz mummy and some mummies. Going to be a bit of a challenge getting through at least the whiz mummy. Yeah, we don't have a weapon yet on that fighter, so this is kind of a little bit of a boss fight right now. Lightning Shoe is going to take out the mummy, but the whiz mummy's still there. Melee all melee doesn't quite get there, and we put the mage to sleep. Make it through the fight, so we have a shard, and we make it to level 7.
Meanwhile, Soleras is buying the glove +4 for his party members. The high plus values on those cheap defensive items makes them surprisingly useful, especially for characters that normally can't wear heavy armor.
Ooh, Lightning 3 and Fire 3 spotted at level 6. Like, I knew they were going to be in 1 through 4, but I was hoping at least one of them would be at 5. This is a bad day for sweepers.
And maybe it's a good thing that we have so much melee in this seed.
So, our short +3 sword now in the hands of our fighter as Scar headed west towards Titans.
Meanwhile, Soleras has just arrived at the volcano.
Oh, they bonked off. That volcano's chime locked.
Wow. So going to the Melmond area was the correct play here.
Yeah, early chime, you say? Nah, I wouldn't say that.
The question is, will the other incentive item be the chime, forcing you to go all the way back?
That
or
would be
will
awful.
it give you some real progression?
My gut tells me we're going to bump into 2 fetch here. And after that, I'm feeling ship and nothing. Right, well, there's one of our fetch.
Level 5, White Magic has Fade and Wall. Unfortunately, unless Soleras gets a White Mage, we won't be seeing that.
Hope we find ribbons. Alright, so we got Crystal out of Titans. What is Old Man Sarda gonna have for us?
Another
fetch.
fetch quest, you called it. The telemagic is really coming in handy for just bouncing out of these places that, while they aren't dangerous, it's just so much nicer to be able to warp out.
Alright, so on our way to TNT and Crystal Turn-In, I'm still feeling ship and nothing. And by nothing, I mean, like, gear, slab, bottles, something in that direction.
One thing that I like to point out that I didn't notice very much earlier is that Soleras still has his second thief on the floor. So instead of reviving him, he's going with a 3 or 2-man party and funneling all the XP to those party members.
It's a tried and true strategy for sure. Okay, there's our boat. We all but had to bump into that. Well, actually, no. Chime and Rod were options, but yeah. Okay, so we got our ship. What is our crystal gonna turn into?
I would like to point out that after Crystal, the next place to go is going to be Ordeals, which in this flag set can be very fun. Although the presence of telemagic and warp at a low level will make it a lot nicer.
2 thieves also makes it way nicer. Oxiel, not exactly nothing, but also doesn't help our current predicament.
Yeah, time to go to Ordeals.
Yep. Very linear seed so far.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of route divergence, but as soon as that happened, the seed said chime bonk. Soleras now also getting the ship. The 2 runners are almost at the same part of their journey.
Chat calling for danning the second thief is a good play. I almost like the idea of keeping that thief upright until we get to the other side of Ordeals. And then we go back to, and then we go down to 3-man, because, like, Ordeals has been very rough over the course of this tournament, so where normally I would want extra safety to try and get through Ice Cave, here I kind of want extra safety just to get through Ordeals.
Okay, for the pillar maze, which pillar number do you think it's going to be?
Third. I don't think it's going to be overtly trolly and give us a 4th.
I'm going to be optimistic and say 1.
No, it's not 1.
I want to point out that Skarcerer took a little bit of a peek into that room, most likely checking whether it was a marked box. But it was not a marked box, so Skarcerer did not go and open the chest. There is also a trap tile there, and I have seen a race where that trap tile did have the legendary multi-eye tile.
Ooh, zombies and ghouls up at the top of Ordeals. Vanilla Touch makes this muy bad. Both of our thieves are stunned. Oh, going for offense. The only way out is apparently through. 3 out of 4 stunned in Skarcerer's party. Can we get the Lightning 2? We do. Can we get most of these out of the way? Ooh, 1 survived.
And single target fire for almost 300 damage. The Black Mage has been pulling a lot of weight.
Ooh,
and an Ice plus 4. Yeah, that's pretty great for the fighter. Finally gets to wield something that a fighter would want to wield. Meanwhile, Soleras is now going through the Ordeals maze. and making very good use of the Telemagic Warp.
Vorpal +3 spotted. Not great, not terrible. Ooh, we're running low on AoE magic in a sorcerer fight. This is not the part where we want to run out of gas.
Maybe a single target? Oh, we're going melee on the Black Mage. Okay.
And there's the key.
So we will not be seeing lockpicking.
We're looking at our options, we're looking at everything, and we've decided, nope, we don't want that last box, we're going to exit. Solid call.
Yeah, the ability to exit out of Ordeals and not have to go over that last trap tile can be very helpful with how dangerous Ordeals is.
Yeah, in Skarcerer's situation, our Black Mage is out of gas and we're down a Thief. Yeah, not risking that box fight. Like, I don't need a shard that badly.
I like checking the Elfland Treasury, although there wasn't too much in it this time.
No. Always worth it. Even if it comes up a dud, at least it was a fast check.
And I think Skarcerer... I don't think I've been pronouncing that correct. Skarcerer has also now downed the second Thief.
And it seems to be stuck down, which does imply that we were carrying it through Ordeals and now we're done with it. We're not focused on going straight to the incentive. We're going to clear these as we go. Not a terrible idea to try and load up on shards with some easy fights. I know levels are not great right now. Second Ice Sword doesn't do much for us right now. A whole lot of not much out of these keylock checks.
Yeah, I think a lot of the shards are going to be densely populated in later dungeons. Or if the runners are unlucky, in Ice and Marsh Cave.
So Soleras gets the key, pulls the last box. It's Medusa's. With only having 2 people up, we've got plenty of firepower. We make it through. And now we just have... Nope, we're going to exit. Decided to be greedy for the last boss and exit.
A ribbon +5, and also silver +5, and a bunch of money. This the Corneria Treasury is finally bringing back the reputation of the key locked rooms. Is this floater?
I don't know, I'm feeling floater. Oh.
No, it's the rod.
Nope.
We have to go a little bit further. Now, inside of Earth Cave, we could find the floater, or we could find the chime.
That's about all that's left, yeah.
Barber pointing out in chat that we do have airboat on, calling it floater boater, which I really like.
Strictly better name,
yes,
I like it.
I agree, it is a very good flag.
Scar looting Earth 1. Yeah, we've been pretty starved for shards so far, so I like going for more of a full clear in Earth Cave to try and counteract that. Normally we get just a bucket out of, like, Volcano, but the Seed decided to be mean today and locked us out of Volcano, so I guess we're gonna just full clear Earth.
Yeah, you really, really want to get your first 8 shards as early as possible, because that's instantly plus 50% XP for the progressive scaling.
Mhm.
Although, do you know, is that adding to the 2.5x that you start with, or if that's a multiplication against that?
So it increases the scale by a percent of that base, like 2.5 plus whatever. So when we get to 8 shards, it will increase that by 50%. And we'll just keep going over time with that. Also, the math is technically done per shard, but it is, for the sake of displaying to the user, like 8 shards is going to equal 50%. So each individual shard, that's 12.5%. No, half that.
I wasn't aware of that. I've been making plays to try and go out of my way to get that last 8th shard to turn on the XP boost, but if it's per shard, I think I'll be able to play these flag sets a little bit more efficiently from now on.
Oh, Darkmoon correcting me in chat. It's cumulative. So 2.5 plus 50% bonus would be 3x total. Okay. But yes, it is definite. It's per shard, but it's written out in easier numbers.
I like the play of looting the boxes in the top right of this earth room.
Mhm.
It's a little bit superstitious, but they seem to usually have good stuff.
And it's close enough to being on the path that the ratio of extra steps to boxes is real good.
This next room, though, it's really interesting which chests you decide to go for.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it always depends on how fast you're trying to get through, how many boxes you're trying to open, because you have a whole range of different boxes that are slightly more out of the way than each other.
Mm-hmm. I see both our runners skipping the far right side box, what we call TFC Earth. I also think we're probably gonna skip this this closet unless it was a marked chest, and it looks like it's not.
Single target fire is coming in useful again with the vampire, saving spell casts for later.
Yeah,
Soleras
the
having a
single target magic is stupidly strong when it's upgraded like this.
Yeah, I wonder if we will see any Lich fights, because the parties are still rather weak. But the single
That's
target
true.
fire is a very good attack against Lich.
It's true that the parties are weak, but so is Lich. So I'm
You have
that
600
I would take that. I'd take that fighter with an ice sword by itself, probably. Like, oh, rune sword. We found a
Although,
rune sword somewhere on Earth 4. Yeah, the Lich is toast.
oh yeah. Although the script in vanilla does balance it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Barber pointed out that Scar did pull the Sun Sword.
Oh, that's right.
Oh no. It's the chime.
Oh, Seed's got jokes. Well, we guess we know where Floater is.
Yeah. Whenever you're playing a seed like this, you always have to remind yourself that at least your opponents are going through the same struggles, and you just need to overcome the struggles better than them. The only problem is when you're doing practice seeds on your own. The other boxes are decent. I've seen some XP, lots of gold, so it likely won't be a problem later in the run when we find the shop item. Soleras exiting out, so not taking on Lich for the extra 2 shards. Skarcerer, it looks like, is either heading towards Lich or Lich's closet for a few extra boxes. And it is Lich's Closet, which I think is a good play. We do need a lot of shards. And it might be worth checking the trap tiles to see if there's anything good here. Well, the trap tile didn't have anything good, but Skarcerer is not exiting out. It looks like we will get to see a Lich fight. And with the Sun Sword, it shouldn't be too difficult. Quick reminder, the fighter bonus is that it has buff magic, which I believe is fast and temper. So if for some reason during one of the fiend fights, if the black mage gets downed really early, the fighter should be able to cast fast on himself. Especially because of the Black Knight, if the runners decide to go and get fast after promoting, if they do choose to promote.
So Soleras, first back to Volcano, headed inside. Let's see how much is in Armory. Little free pro ring, that's not bad.
I see a lot of marked boxes. This is where all the shards have gone.
Oh, squiggle left is a marked box. That's demoralizing.
Opal +4 pulled by Scar in one of the... I don't think it's called the hairpin, but in that general region. Which will be very useful if they decide to go and promote later on. It is possible, though, that the tail is just the last check and it's not worth getting. That does happen quite often. It's always a tough decision to decide when you are ready to go into Topher and whether you need to spend more time getting more stuff.
So I think, especially with these parties, I feel like even if tail is the last thing that we're looking for, I think we're gonna have to dig it out, because just the armor benefits, I think we're gonna want them.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. An interesting thing about the way these flags are before Northern Docks and all the other map edits are introduced is that once Floater is obtained, the game becomes very non-linear, usually, most of the time. So it's very possible that one runner gets tail right away, whereas the other one gets it as a last item, and I have seen games where that was the big deciding factor.
Usually that non-linear thing involves an unnecessary trip to on-rack, and I mean, this seed has just been so all over the place, but I think both of our runners are going to be very much looking for the tail. With Soleras at 2, man, if we find a Mazza, they might skip it. Skarcerer 100% is going for the tail.
Yeah. A Mazda and a Power Bonk could be enough. Although remembering, promoting is not just for the gear. There's also life for the white ninja.
That's true. But if it's the last thing we get, that's a little bit harder to make use of.
Oh right, wasn't it in like Provoca shops? I'm gonna check the notes.
It was, but in order to get charges on the ninjas, we'll have to level them past the next
Oh
odd
right.
level after they promote, and that can take a minute depending on where we end up promoting.
Yeah, and wasn't it once the character gets to a high enough level, they stop getting magic charges at all, and it's just too bad?
Technically, if you were to promote at level 50, then yes, you would never get magic charges no matter what. I don't see that happening here, but it's more the time and opportunity cost to take a break and find somewhere to level up real quick for life charges. Because while you're doing that, your opponent might be in Temple of Fiends.
I don't think we found the incentive in Volcano yet, which is the floater, unless we're missing something.
Yeah, it's the floater, or we're about to make a bug report. Still haven't found it. Where's the... Oh, Soleras exiting, dropping a house and leaving. Oh no, we did miss. We did see
We
floater.
did miss it. They both have it.
Yeah,
We did miss it.
it was a simultaneous pull. Okay, that must have been in the big 5 chest room. So Soleras first in the air, around 35 minutes in.
They are both very close, though. The airboat is magnificent. Although in this case, I don't think it would have hurt too much because of how nearby the regular floater desert is. But the airboat is still very great.
Scar on the trail of that missing vendor item. Gonna check Oasis, not here. Soleras pulls up to Gaia. Doing a bit of a donut, gonna check here. Not here either.
Oh,
The answer is
gonna...
on rack.
And they do already have both the key and the Oxyale, so they will be able to look in Mermaid Prison and TFCC to get the incentive there. So 2 incentives at on-rack this seed.
Meanwhile, Soleras still checking clinics. I wonder what we're looking for.
Oh, Soleras took a white mage.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Lab has not been found yet, so it is relatively a good bet that you can go and turn in this lab and also get spells for the white mage at the same time. Possibly also for the ninja, if you have been lucky enough to promote first.
So Skarcerer takes down Astos, and as a prize we get an X-Cal plus 5, putting them even further into the Skarcerer wants a tail column.
Yeah, and reminder that even though Soleras does not have a fighter, he can still make use of an X-Cal by putting it on the white mage, which has plus legendary swords. I think I've seen a few light axes pulled by the 2 runners this seed. I'm not sure if Soleras has put on the light axe on the white mage. The white mage is leveling up very quickly.
I don't believe the light axe counts as a legendary weapon. I could be wrong about that.
Oh, it doesn't count as a legendary weapon, but the white mage can lift it and use it as a harm too, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
And
well,
we
we
do
get the
have
slab
improved
out of
harm for it.
Cardia. Mm-hmm. Slab out of Cardia is not really what we wanted to see. And there we
Hail
go.
from robots.
There it is.
That is very good news. And a
And
Maza
Maza
moon.
+5. Oh, man. So, Soleras getting kind of everything they could ever want out of Waterfall. Scar is chasing the easier checks. I think it might be a hot minute before they make it all the way to Waterfall.
Right, and now that Soleras has the tail, he is going to have to decide between putting the Maza or not the katana, the Vorpal on the thief.
Maza had the bigger plus. Maza wins. Also, Skarcerer did pick up a second ribbon just now in Cardia.
Soleras heading to Mermaid Prison. I love the name of that flag. It's very evoking.
Soleras also picking up a katana. Looked like a katana +3. The question of katana +3 versus Maza +5.
Another ribbon
Another
Soleras just picked up.
I've never been lucky with crit, so I would go with the Maza, but I definitely understand taking the katana instead. Chad asking, why not both? Well, because I would have a thief and I would have a ninja and I would have a knight, and one of those would have an excal. The other one would have, I don't know, something. And that was a shard. We didn't want, well, we do want that, but it wasn't what we were after. Worth noting, neither runner has the loot, and we are rapidly running out of places where it could be. I think at this point, it has to be either sea or sky.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be Sky.
Or we still have a bottle out there, so something in the bottle into loot is an option, but either way, the source is going to be either sea or sky.
And I wasn't paying very close attention when Skarcerer turned in the slab. Was it the power bonk?
I think so. Yes, our wonderful tracker Danny confirming it was the power gauntlet. And it looks like we just hauled the bottle at a sea shrine, which Soleras is going to go turn in.
Darkmoon pointing out in chat that we did carbonate bubbles. And Barber pointing out that the defense sword is still out there. So I think that means the last two checks are either the loot or the defense sword.
Yep. So Soleras going to go over Cardia, where Skarcerer's already been. Skarcerer going to go promote and then probably... boy, if that bottle turns out to be loot, we might be watching Skarcerer do the unfortunate triple dip of on-rack. Like, I get that Sea Shrine's a bummer, but oof. Yeah, so we're gonna get the answer sooner rather than later. Scar headed into Mirage Sky. Soleras gonna turn in the bottle. Who's gonna be right about the loot?
A very fun thing for those who have been paying extra close attention to Skarcerer's running, that in the overworld, it is the Black Mage and now Black Wizard running around instead of the first party member. That is one of our fun percent where you get to choose which party member in order you want to use.
Mhm.
And it's a great way to see the other amazing sprites that the Final Fantasy original developers have made without sacrificing your party order. Because
Without
seeing
having
the
to
thief
actually run with a black
hair,
mage in the front.
yeah, seeing the thief hair in the front always gets a little monotonous eventually.
I get that. Fighter in the front, always, forever.
It took me quite a while to get used to putting the thief in front of the fighter.
Yeah, took me a while too. So
But at least,
Soleras sees Xcal and resets out of it, evidently does not want the Xcal for their white mage. We got level 7 Cure 4. Soleras is going to take advantage of. Not much great at level 8. Oh, I looked away, and I look over
yeah,
on Skarcerer's side, and we were down 2 ninjas and not doing good. And uh-oh, Soleras gets loot from the bottle. Oh no.
it is now a race to get all of the shards.
Soleras with a definite commanding lead right now. Skarcerer has the head start on getting the shards sorted, but has a bit of a painful fetch still in front of them that will be annoying. But they'll certainly get to shard cap first.
Yeah, Skarcerer had an early lead, but is all but closed at this point. And the runners are quite close.
Oh, level 3 life 2. I missed that the first time we went through Elfland. Life and life 2 on the ninja does seem like a problem solver. Last minute tile check, and it's Gerwolves. Well spent. So now for everyone's fun game of where is the sky incentive, and the unfortunate part of this for Skarcerer is that we're looking for an unmarked box.
Right, it's always interesting. Do you skip the spider floor, and do you skip the single box room that is on this floor?
No
Okay,
and
doing so,
no.
it's not as punishing in this situation because runners both have multiple warp casts.
Mhm.
But as time has gone on, I have been grabbing that lower singular chest more and more often. I still skip the spider floor though. Oh, and Skarcerer did not check the unmarked chest in the one box room?
No, Skarcerer has been avoiding all of the unmarked boxes. This is a play to sort of hedge bets a little bit. We've written off the defense sword. If the defense sword is here, doesn't matter, don't care, don't want it. All we want is shards and a loot. We're gonna get maybe some of those, but we haven't even found any marked boxes so far. This has been a very stingy sky.
Maybe this seed, all of the shards did end up in ice and marsh. Although I did get the impression that Mirage had a decent number of shards, which does make up for it a bit.
Yeah, Mirage did have some, but Sky's had nothing.
I think we will likely see some Tia fights because we do need as many shards as possible, and those 4 shards will come in handy quite a bit. We likely won't see a fight with the patrolling Warmech though, because a script with 4 nuclears in it.
That's not a fight you want to take unless you have to.
Yeah, and then the one time where Warmech rolls to not use nuclear on you, it's a really strong stomp.
Oh, that's what it was. Chimeras with Zap and Squint. That's what took us out earlier. So Scar had been checking some of the boxes. I feel like at this point the panic has to set in that we went to the wrong dungeon. Sky 2 is awful and boring. How dare you? It has the best encounter table in all of Sky.
It is fun finding an eye in a box. But I still do skip this floor until last, when looking for the incentive. The best encounter table is skipping a floor entirely, says Dark Moon.
No, the best encounter table is the one that gets me to 27.
The best encounter table is one that has blue steak in it. Off the hard reset.
So Soleras also here, but confident with the knowledge that they're only looking for shards. I expect Soleras to just skip Sky 2 and just not look back. I have not had a count of our shards recently.
Skarcerer is about 2/3 of the way from the little flash that I saw.
Alright, Skarcerer down 7, so we're at 21. Soleras. No, we're at 17 over on Soleras' side, so Scar 21, Soleras 17 is the numbers we're currently sitting at, but Soleras is gonna get a Tia kill. I have to imagine Scar probably will too, because yeah, it's gonna take longer to walk out. So both runners headed towards Tia. Soleras confirming what we all probably suspected by walking past that Warmech. And Skarcerer doing the same.
Yep. I have been told that in earlier versions of the flag set, the war mech was set to required, which would have been interesting.
Yes.
But it disincentivized runners from fighting carry, so it ended up being changed to patrolling.
Well, it's also a problem of because we're running with vanilla boss scripts, the vanilla Warmex scripts are muy painful.
Yeah, if it was shuffled scripts, then Force Warmech probably would have made it, but the way it is, I definitely see why runners would go out of their way to skip the extra 4 shards.
Gar makes it through first, Soleras not too far behind.
With the
Both
Bane strat.
runners. Both runners taking down Tia and leaving.
It looks like Skarcerer is coming back to sea to loot the deeper sea chest and probably fight Kraken. I find it interesting how in this flag set specifically, everything has come together to make Kraken 1 arguably more difficult than Kraken 2, because Kraken 1 spits ink at you so much more and is also less likely to cast a spell and more likely to hit you. And Improved Dark is very strong on a party that is not prepared to deal with it.
Yes, Improved Dark is a real killer in this flag set. It's to the point where Lamp is no longer kind of a joke pick. Lamp is a thing that our runners are definitely keeping an eye out for. Even the ribbon is like, it's not a guarantee to guard against it, so we need some sort of solution.
Skarcerer did revive the secondary ninja, probably to use as a bit of a shield. Potentially taking the front seat when fighting Kraken. And also in Topher.
Oh, chat pointing out that yes, Cure 4 will also take care of the dark status effect, but it's important to have both available, because one of those 2 spells might share a level with something you'd really rather cast if you had the choice.
The Cure 4 always ends up on either Life or Heal 3. Thinking about Cure 4, Lord Fizzlebeef, do you typically try to beat Chaos's Cure 4 timer, or do you typically go for a buffing strategy and wait for it?
That is entirely hinging on just exactly how much kerosene I'm bringing into that fight. Let's pretend I get to design my own party. If I roll in Fighter, Thief, Red, Black, I've got double fast, I've got double temper. Yeah, I'm gonna try and outrun that timer, and I think I can do it. If I roll in, I don't know, Knight, White Mage, Black Mage, and a Nun, I'm gonna sit around and I'm gonna buff until that Cure 4 happens, and then I'm gonna start swinging in.
You also have to be able to react on where the Chaos is on the spell table. I commentated a match recently where the initial strategy was buffing, waiting for Chaos to unleash the Cure 4, but 4 rounds in, and the first spell still hadn't been casted, and the melee was already pretty buffed up, so the runner was able to take it down in time because of the good fortune.
Sometimes it's nothing but melee and skills for a bit, and eventually you just reach a point where you're just like, okay, I guess I'll start now, because I'm starting to run out of survivability to make it through another cycle of all these skills.
Soleras did beat Kraken, and it looks like is now heading towards Topher. And is that full shards? I think I saw full shards.
I
Or
think it was.
I guess
If it
minus one or
wasn't,
two? Because we are checking the extra chests.
looks like it.
Yeah, thankfully, at least this one does have a shard.
Okay, now
And
we're
that was
full.
the last one.
Soleras first into Temple of Fiends Revisited, call it 5825. We do our little loot jingle, and we are headed down to the Earth floor. Now, vanilla scripts. Lich is unkind. Nah, it's still it's a fast fight no matter what. Either the nuke crushes in and we basically reset, or we get there and everything's gonna be fine.
Thankfully, because we are using mid Topher, best Topher, any resets out of Lich are very non-punishing. There is the nuke. Looks like we aren't resetting out of it right away. We're gonna go ahead and finish him off and use our life. Because both of
We
the
have
life
life
casters
magic,
are
but
here.
yeah, we got our life magic, but these are resources we don't exactly want to pay right now.
Skarcerer is turning in the slab before the bottle and is going to find the power bonk before the loot.
Unfortunate. Although we are here for the superstore, so at least we can fill out our magics. Or no,
That is true. We were probably going to check both either way.
no, wait, Scar has power gauntlet. Scar did that earlier. This is
Oh
just
yeah,
a trip
it's
for the magics.
just the magic.
Meanwhile, Soleras versus Carry 2. We're doing some evasion on the White Mage, some buffing on the Ninja. We're taking a look at what we've got. We're going to go with one of our level 1 spells, probably Fire 1. Does it push us over the line? Not quite. Incoming melee doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. Katana, 667, down goes Carry 2. Seems like we're going to be leaning on the Katana from here out because that's a notable swap from when we were fighting Lich. Soleras headed for Kraken 2, doing a little bit of top off. And here we go. Ruse for the White Mage, Fast and Bonk for the Ninja. Ruse goes off. Lightning 2, a very gentle start from Kraken. Helps us out. One round of buffing for melee, and off we go. Second Ruse goes off. Test swing. 6 hits 500, not bad. Down goes the Black Mage, absolutely liquefied by the Kraken. We're going to life 2 in combat just to bring it back, just to give another target. Melee takes it down again. This is a ping pong match with that poor Black Wizard as the little ball. Black Wizard back up. Continuing melee. Are we on... Wait, nope, we're on Nuke. Final revenge from the Black Wizard is successful. Nuke for 141. Down goes Kraken 2.
Meanwhile, Skarcerer has just entered Topher, and on the Lich floor is walking in front of the doors to save just a couple of tiles on the encounter table. A nice little optimization.
Soleras is taking on Tia. We opened with Thunder, which is probably one of the better things we could have hoped for. Ruse stacks again for the White Mage. We're looking at those temper charges. We only have 3 of them left. We've decided against using them here, but we are going to use Lock 2 just in case of evasion. Incoming poison damage. Not going to do a lot. I believe we have 3 ribbons. We're going to heal 3 with that White Mage just in case. Additional Lock 2. Test swing. 7 hits 297. We're good on attack number. We're not so good on damage. Bane misses everybody. Heal 3 tops us off. Let's try swinging again. 8 hits 443. We're continuing, but it's not super. Melee takes our ninja down to under 200. Blizzard to 150. There we go. The katana finally lands. 9 hits for 1,000 damage. Down goes Tia 2.
Meanwhile, Skarcerer is right about to start the carry fight, or not carry fight, Kraken fight. And Soleras is about to take on Chaos with a slight lead.
Any corrections? We are bringing back our Thief. Going into the first slot, see if we can absorb an errant punch as our DPS goes down to the second slot. Wait, power, ruse, fast. It works! The system works! A Blade of Meat Shield has been destroyed. Chaos's first turn has been wasted. Second turn, let's try some Power Gauntlet, a little bit more ruse. Time for the Tempers. Power Gauntlet goes off, Temper goes off, Ruse goes off, Chaos's response, Ice 3. Not a whole heck of a lot to this party, we have too much elemental resist for it. More Tempers, more power.
Lots of buffing for the Thief being a very strong melee, while the White Mage is now very safely able to revive the Ninja if it need be.
Life goes off on that first spot. Ninja, Test Swing, single hit for 351. This is an evasion problem. I hope we have enough Lock 2s to solve it.
I think we do.
Yeah, we have a ton of them. Okay, we're good to go. Lock 2 goes off. Heal 3 going to top off some of this party. Incoming melee tags the Ninja for 150. 7 hits, 1,385 damage. That's a swing.
Just needed the one Lock 2.
Let's try another swing. 6 hits,
Another
1,018.
Slow 2
Slow
misses.
2 misses. Cure 4 not far off. Can we get there? 4 hits, 1,071 damage. Down goes Chaos. Soleras finishing in first place with official race time, GG time, 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 54 seconds, GG. Meanwhile, Skarcerer has made it to Chaos. I think. That might have been a forfeit. Oh, nope. Maybe not.
It was a forfeit, according to racetime.gg.
All right, we'll see if we can get the runners in for an interview. Oh, looks like we got the stream back. Scar is still attacking Chaos, but missing several party members. Top level Ninja is going with melee. Looks like we're going with melee from Ninja and Knight. Not a whole lot of damage coming out. Melee taking down the Ninja to just under 100. 2 hits, 478. 3 hits, 230. It's okay, but not. It's less okay. And the
And the
slow
slow
2
2
sticks
lands.
to the X-Cal. And there's the Cure 4. That's going to be all she wrote for this fight, I think. We're still making okay swings, but we had a fasted Knight at one point, and now it no longer is. We're actually putting out okay kind of numbers for this. We might be close, but no. A double punch for 340 takes down Skarcerer. Ooh, I see them in the waiting room. And we are joined in the booth by our runners, Soleras and Skarcerer. GG's.
Hello, thank you. GG Scar.
GG.
So, how was that?
You know, that's the weirdly safest I've ever felt with two party members. um, I just, nothing horrible happened, and I kind of went out of my way to buy armor, like really silly things like caps and whatever, because I was like, I have two party members. I don't have life. I'll take what I can get. I even went out of my way to grab silver bracks when I actually had money and a floater. I think I'm really glad I did that. So yeah, that was an interesting seed. It kind of took us all over the place, really inefficiently. Bonking into Volcano was amusing, but but yeah.
Better than last night.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it was crazy how sort of linear the seed was up until you got the floater. Um, but before we get that far, kind of want to run a question by the both of you, and I'll start with Soleras. Double Thief, what are your thoughts to sort of fix this?
Um, I have. I kind of enjoy Double Thief.
Mhm,
I've run both alive before, and
mhm,
both like running, a katana and a vorpal or whatever. But Chaos punched one of those thieves down immediately, and I was like, okay, solved my problem. I guess I'll just
mhm,
keep you down. And then I was looking for, a red mage or a white mage for
mhm,
kind of all that protection. The early level magic seemed kind of bad, so I held out for a white mage that was quite a wait. But yeah,
mhm.
my mindset is to probably thief carry at that point, and you kind of get the tools to do it. You do have to go out of your way to find like a vorpal or katana, but I'm feeling like when the scaling is getting more difficult, a katana or vorpal is really valuable anyways, which a thief can carry or a ninja can carry. So yeah, I don't know.
And same question to Scar. What do you do with that?
Whatever I want. I played it by ear and saw a fighter and was like, yeah, it's good enough.
Mhm. That I love that. Um, just I can't be forced to trust a thief. No, we're grabbing a fighter.
Oh, it's more that I didn't particularly care to win or lose this match because I benefit either way. Soleras is a good friend of mine, so seeing him advance is a win in my book.
Yeah, and Scar, you did get all the way to round of 16. You had a very good showing for a very recently graduated duckling.
I'm not done yet. There's still the last chance Hastings.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right, I look
Scar's
forward
killing
to
it.
seeing you do that.
I could sneak into the round of 8 part 2.
You sure
Mhm.
can. Scar Scar also killing it in the Free Enterprise Doors tournament, by the way, also going on right now.
Mhm.
I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident.
So one other question I've got, Scar. Um, were you trying to go for a calculated gamble to just avoid Sea Shrine, uh, or was that? Did you just have
Um,
something against the place?
I didn't have anything particularly against it. Just do my freebies first, right? So
Hmm, hmm,
I ended up with tail in hand, and Sky has more chests, and the chests in Sky are along a much better line.
hmm.
I think Sky's just a better place to loot for shards than Sea.
Hmm. Uh, Franklin, my co-coms,
Well,
do you have any questions for our runners?
I had one and then I forgot it. I think I
The
have come up with
classic.
another one though.
I do that all the time. Oh, sure.
With these races, there's always a lot of divergence as soon as the floater gets picked up. Like this was another one where it was very, very linear up until the floater. Once you get that routing freedom, what kind of things are you thinking about?
The tail.
Yeah, the tail was a big one for this.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely thinking about the tail. I was thinking about the power bonk in particular because I was relying on a thief or a ninja. Um, Classically, I think doesn't have a lot of strength. Needs a little bit of boost. I was really, really happy to find that. And it's just progression in general. But when a seed like that, where you get so much of the seed done before the floater happens, it's sort of like, well, there's a few different ways to go, but it's all pretty quickly gonna fall together. Um, I think my mindset is mostly to check things that are close to each other, so I'm not flying as much as possible. That, that's a big one I feel like I'm learning as I learn this rando more is that flight time and walking time can take quite a bit of time away from you.
And I remembered my other question. What was the strategy around getting the late white mage?
Oh yeah, I wanted life. I knew where life 3 was. Sorry, life 3. I knew where life 2 was. It was level 3, and I knew
Uh-huh.
where life 1 was. I knew where wall was though. Then suddenly, 3 ribbons fell in my lap. I don't know how the hell that happened, but it was mainly the wall and life kind of protection, and I knew Ruse was level 1, so she could keep herself pretty safe. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
Oh, and then
Well,
one more question.
yeah, go for it.
As we are moving on to the round of 8, I think,
Mhm.
we are now opening up a lot more map edits. Which one of them is your favorite? Which one is your least favorite?
Over the map edits.
Mhm.
The opening up the river to Melman ended up being pretty interesting for these seeds. They still can be linear, but I've definitely run into seeds where that became pretty important to be able to, the routing took you through that instead. I don't know, interesting, but I don't think I have a particular favorite. I just think it's really neat that there are a bunch of map edits to this game and flags in general. There's so many options. It's kind of overwhelming, but really cool. Yeah, I'll say I like them all.
And Scar?
I like the Cardia dock.
Mhm.
Don't have to worry about floater for promotion.
Mhm.
I imagine round of 8 is going to feel a lot closer to how last year's winter tournament was, just without the unrunnables.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. I don't have a lot of practice. It's time to practice now with all those map edits.
All right, Soleras, as the winner of the series, you are moving on to face the winner of Spellzap v Sorbius. Do you have any
Yep.
thoughts about that?
Oh, it's the challenge. It's probably going to be real difficult. But I'll be able to say I made it to round of 8, and you never know. Never know.
Mhm.
I don't feel particularly confident getting out of that series, but yeah, who the heck knows?
Mhm.
This is pretty early on in my FFR kind of foray. I sort of resisted for a long time. I got a bunch of friends from the free enterprise community, like Scar, who've been playing FFR for a while, and I resisted pretty strongly until kind of recently, and I've been really liking it. So yeah, I don't feel great about my chances, but I'm in a great mood, so
That's
I'm
a
just looking
spirit.
forward to it. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And Scar, you are headed down into the last chance meat grinder. Do you have any tricks up your sleeve for how to survive?
No, I'm just going to play the game. Either win or I
That's
lose.
spirit.
It's 50-50.
That's right. Let's play
Yep.
the game.
I met my goals for this tournament, and so it's smooth sailing from here, probably downhill.
All right, then I think we're going to move this on to final thoughts. We'll start with our winner on stream, Soleras. Final thoughts.
Hey, this was cool. This tournament's neat. Thanks for having me. I get to sort of re-enjoy some stuff with my free enterprise friends from FF4, like Scar. So that's been really fun. And actually, Scar, thanks for helping put on this tournament. I think you did a really excellent job. Thanks for putting us on Restream, the commentary and the tracking. That's super appreciated. And yeah, till next time for me.
All right,
And
second
Scar,
place
final
on
thoughts?
stream, first in our hearts, Scar. Final thoughts.
Go Solaris, GG Solaris. Let's. I want to. I am rooting for Solaris. Let's go.
GG friend. Do my best.
My co-coms, Franklin. Final thoughts.
This was a really good match, and it was very close. Lee traded hands a couple times. Also, want to give a big thank you to Danny for tracking and Dark Moon for the restream. Couldn't be doing this very well without them.
All right, I'd also like to give a big special shout out to RPG Limit Break for hosting us. We do enjoy having us some tournament shenanigans on our broadcast partners. Happy to be here, but we're going to hand their channel back over to them. So, for everybody here in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, my name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and we will see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone.